What is up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. I'm Chance. Now, a lot of people asked me over the years, what motivates me to, try to be better, to try to move on from my past. And let me tell you, it's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that do motivate me, to want to have a better life, the need to do better for myself, and more importantly, just all around wanting a better life and to get my career back on track.
That's a fucking lie, you dumb hooker.
Oh, silly goblin boy, we know what motivates you, and it's definitely not making yourself better or helping your family out at all, that's for sure. It's the same old song and dance here in the swamp of 339. Welcome back to the Cyrax Deep Dive series, my friends. It's good to see you made it back for another one. I know, it's been a couple of days since I dropped a Rax video, or just a video in general, but honestly, sometimes you just gotta disconnect from the terminally online because it gets a bit worrisome, if you know what I mean. Apparently there's trouble in paradise. Trolls are starting to turn on each other in the Cyrax universe. Cyrax is of course trying to pretend like he used to be some sort of online celebrity before the trolls, and alas, it's all one big lie.
Well, let me explain this to you. I'm not new to this, actually. I've had several channels, including one channel that had 100,000 subs.
So that was a fucking lie.
Which I actually still have the silver play button for. It's packed away so it doesn't get busted right now because I still don't have my room set up. But man, at one point I had 100,000 subs. Was doing very well for myself. And then some years later, this community that I deal with, known as the troll community, decided it would be funny to go hunting for me after years of torture. Like, they went hunting for my channel, and unfortunately they found it and shut it down.
Alright boys, you know what it is. It's the drinking game time. For every time the goblin lied in that last clip, we all need to take a shot. And not just any shot, boys, a shot of the jug. No survivors. We're all going down, but we're bringing the goblin with us, don't you worry. It's absolutely sad that Cyrax thinks that anybody would ever fall from this, especially considering the past couple of years where he's just repeatedly put up this same exact story and nobody ever believes it because it can just be factually proven wrong. You know, there is just being insane and mentally deluded and all that. But then there's just this guy. He just refuses to give up. He seems to think that he's gonna be able to manifest this whole life. He thinks if he just pretends long enough, cosplays long enough as a YouTuber, he'll be able to be one. And it's just never going to happen.
The thing that I did before this was actually very different. You see, I wasn't your normal vlogger, I should say. I was actually a pro league sim racer. I did everything from circuit events, road racing, drag racing, drift events, which were some of my favorite. I absolutely love drift events, all the way down to professional, high grade, Group B style rally stage racing for the longest time. And then the trolls came in and destroyed my career by destroying my equipment.
Alright boys, you know what it is. It's the drinking game time. For every time the goblin lied in that last clip, we all need to take a shot. And not just any shot, boys, a shot of the jug. No survivors. We're all going down, but we're bringing the goblin with us, don't you worry. It's absolutely sad that Cyrax thinks that anybody would ever fall from this, especially considering the past couple of years where he's just repeatedly put up this same exact story and nobody ever believes it because it can just be factually proven wrong. You know, there is just being insane and mentally deluded deluded and all that. But then there's just this guy. He just refuses to give up. He seems to think that he's gonna be able to manifest this whole life. He thinks if he just pretends long enough, cosplays long enough as a YouTuber, he'll be able to be one. And it's just never going to happen.
I currently have no PC.
Good news, everyone!
No gaming console. I have nothing. Right now I'm on a Chromebook playing freaking Gran Turismo 1 and 2 on a PS1, man. Which, not that I'm on. I absolutely love Gran Turismo. One of my favorite game series that actually got me practicing again. But my point is this. In life, you're gonna have curveballs thrown at you. I want to tell you, I had a curveball that was so hard thrown at me that I didn't know if I was ever gonna be able to get back up. Because you see, I come from a long line of being tortured, being used, taken advantage of, and extorted online for money.
What's worse than the goblin lying? The goblin having this fake sense of gratitude. Oh, he's totally grateful to be able to play the same 2 games that he sucks absolute chode at. Definitely what he wants to be doing. He definitely doesn't miss Fortnite and all his V-Bucks, that's for sure. We all know without a shadow of a doubt that Cyrax would be right back to it if he had the chance to. We all knew if he had the ability to get a new PC, do his little karaoke streams, rant and rave on panel, play his dumb little Roblox game or whatever he liked to play before, he would be. We would be in the exact same thing. And the only reason why it's slightly different now and he's suffering more is because unfortunately he's never worked a day in his life, never saved up a penny, never earned $1, and that's why he's where he is now. Like genuinely, him and his 43 family are so regarded that they haven't even figured out how to get exploits from the government for this little goblin. You're telling me they couldn't figure out some food stamps, some unemployment, something? There's definitely some disability out there for these types of idiots, but it makes me sleep better at night knowing that they're too stupid to figure that out. So that's a W for all of us.
Until one day this person, whose name I won't say, who I am beyond grateful for, came into my life. And at first they tried to tell me the truth. And understandably, I was scared and I ended up blocking them. Not because I didn't believe them, but because personally I was scared. And it wasn't until a few days later or a few weeks later that when my best friend died, that's when I really learned the truth about what was really going on. And I saw that this person was right the entire time about what was going on. Needless to say, I emailed them, I reached back out to them, and to this day we still talk on a daily basis. This person is very, very much a very, very important, if not one of the most important people in my life. But this person really showed me I can have a normal life if I choose to. You see, a lot of people nowadays, they think that they are defined by what the internet says about them or their past mistakes. They think that their past mistakes define who they are as a person.
Of course, Cyrax would be a little timid to walk into any sort of email exchange, but you gotta be real with yourself for 5 seconds here, swamp folk. Do you really think that Chance didn't try to immediately make this person their best friend, or did he back off and wait until his little brother Ethan passed away? Cyrax couldn't tell what the truth was if it kicked him in the face. And I've said that probably a dozen times in the last couple of videos because that's just what's going on here. You could hit this guy with the truth shovel. You could bury him 6 feet deep under the truth, and he would still miss what the truth is every single time because he's so far into his own gaslighting that he believes all these crazy lies he's been spewing. Cyrax, if you do have somebody that's in your corner, some special person that you won't name, they'll come to light way sooner than later, and they will be exposed, made fun of, and criticized for being friends with a PDF. And then they'll leave you in the dust like every other buddy troll ever has.
Because I've actually been working on a very, very cool new genre of music that's not ever been done. It combines several different styles of music into one style. Imagine Linkin Park on steroids. How they combine rock and rap, which shout out Linkin Park, fucking love you guys. Just like Linkin Park, how they combine rock and rap, I combine other styles as well. Only I do multiple styles into one. I don't just do one or two, I do multiple. And it's a style that I've been working on for a very long time now, and I'm pretty much almost perfected it. But my point is, you can't let people drag you down. What others say about you doesn't necessarily define who you are. Well, yes, you may have made some mistakes along the way. That doesn't mean you need to be held back to them. You may have said and done things that, you said and did when you were not in the right state of mind, and that's very understandable.
See, I don't know where Cyrax gets his, motivational mumbo-jumbo from, because reality is your past mistakes define who you are, and your past actions define who you are. But that doesn't mean you can't obviously make up for those mistakes, you can't obviously atone for those things, but Cyrax has never atoned for any of it. So just to blankly say, well, these things don't define me, well, they do if you've never atoned for them. That's the thing. Character is a lot deeper than just saying I'm sorry. Character development isn't just, oh, I'm sorry, now we can move on. No, you have to atone for those mistakes that you've made. And honestly, sending your private parts, pulling out your wee-wee, showing your butthole, all these things that you've done are not mistakes. You've admitted that you did it because you felt like you needed to. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. You still did it very purposely, so they're not mistakes.
But I can tell you right now that if you stick on your path and you don't give in to what others say about you, and you don't give a flying fuck about what anyone says about you, and you stick to your guns and you stay on the right path, you got a future. Fuck these haters that sit there and talk shit about you. Because you watching, you are awesome, you are special, you are amazing. They hide behind their fucking screens and their fucking keyboards and their little fucking words. Fuck what they say about you, because their words don't fucking mean shit. Their words and their actions are a reflection of themselves. They're deflecting their own insecurities onto you because they see themselves.
Are you sure about that?
In you and what they wish they could have been. And they're mad that they're not that, so they take it out on you. You're out here doing your own thing. And people are gonna say, oh, we own you when you start reacting. When you start reacting and you start one-upping these guys to try to get away. So let's, for example, say that you've been reacting for a long time. And then you go around stealing your content and you're trying to one-up them. You're trying to one-up them and you're trying to get away. And you're saying, screw you. They're going to sit there and say that, oh, we own you. No, they don't. You own them. You want to know why? Because without your content and your name in their mouths, they ain't got shit.
Cyrax giving any advice about how to take criticism, how to be patient, how to rebrand yourself is just a big joke. This guy cries literally every other hour about not being able to rebrand, about not being able to atone, when all he ever really had to do was just stop being a creep, stop doing all the worst things imaginable, stop being a predator, and at one point just leave the internet and you would have been completely left alone. Eventually you probably could have come back and did your own thing in silence and in private. But since you can't go 5 minutes without making a rant about all the trolls, can't stop doing the exact same things people criticize you about every single day, you've created an entire economy on YouTube, Cyrax, and you make $0 from it. It's absolutely diabolical. If Chance would have applied any of the quote advice unquote that he just gave to whoever might be possibly watching his stupid little rant online, he could have probably been 10 steps ahead of where he is now. But we all know none of that will ever change because this little regard thinks that he is the Ronnie Radke of YouTube. He thinks anybody and everybody who makes content about him is dependent on him, when in reality there's always another Lolcow to go make fun of. Cyrax might be the bread and butter for somebody like an old Uncle Swampy D, but that doesn't mean he takes up any of my mental space. I'm probably the most out of the loop than almost any other creator here. I have no interest in jumping on panels, I don't care about touching the poo. I'm here to give you the content and the entertainment. So Cyrax, it really doesn't matter how much power you think you have over people like myself, you really don't have any at all. And it seems like I live rent-free in your head when nobody, especially myself, thinks about you at all when it doesn't come to making these videos. Anyways, that's where we're gonna end this one, my friend. Thank you guys as always for tuning in to another Cyrax deep dive episode here on the Swampy D channel. Uncle Swampy D has some goblins to go spank, some grass to water, some ducks to feed, indeed. But I'll be back soon with some more interesting goblin news.
No, I didn't forget. The bedbug jug, I'm waiting for it. Bedbug jug, bedbug jug, bedbug jug, bedbug jug. I'ma need that shit. Run me that shit. My bed.